All right. We're going to start with squats, but we're also using an isometric exercise here for back, shoulders. And so let's give you the red tubes here. And then people at home are going to be using a towel. So it'll be an isometric thing, unless they have tubes. So you're going to hold the tube in front. Yeah, about shoulder width. A little bit closer grip there. Good. Okay? And then you're just going to stretch that tube out, and people with the towel are just pulling out isometrically as hard as they can. So it's 100% pull straight out. And then we're going to go nice and slow as you're pulling out. And everyone's different on the range, so you just go down as low as you can, not past horizontal with the thighs, but if you can get there, that's great. If you can't, that's okay too. Pulling out hard as you can. Good. And then really slow coming up again, but only 2/3 of the way up. Right about there. Excellent. Now, drop your shoulders down. Good. Arms straight out. Nice relaxed face and neck. And now hands down a little bit. Okay? Now we're going to be mimes. So we're miming a shelf. The hands are on the shelf. Now as you come down, the hands stay the same distance off the floor as you're pulling apart. Hard pull straight out. Pause here at the bottom. Good. And then slowly coming up, and the hands are coming down because they're still on that shelf, just 2/3 of the way. So this is the top. This is what the top looks like. And now slow coming down again. Drop the shoulders down. Relax the neck and face. Nice relaxed shoulders. Good. Little pause at the bottom there. Pulling apart hard as you can. Always pulling apart. And slow coming up again. Breathing through it. Constant airflow. Nice. Low top. Hold it. Still pulling apart. Check that pull. Isometric. 100% contraction. Check your shoulders. Make sure they're nice and low. Now while we're here, everybody arch. Stick the butt out. Keep that low back arched so we get more glutes. And now keep all that going. Pulling out as you come down. Miming your shelf. Good. Little pause down there. That's the sweet spot where we're getting quads and glutes. And pulling out as you're coming up. Slowly up. Just 2/3 of the way. Nice. Should be screaming by now. Now down an inch in pulses. Little tiny pulses with your body. Still pulling out isometrically here. Freeze it right there. Good. Now, you're slowly going to pull in. Pretend it's like a barbell bench press, but you're still pushing out with your hands away from each other. All the way in. Hold it all the way in. Good. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together. Excellent. Really feel those blades squeezing, muscles contracting, pulling apart. And now slowly straight out again, pulling apart hard as you can. Always pulling apart. Holding your partial squat position. Good, good, good. Still burning the quads, getting the glutes. Nice. And now come in halfway. And we're going to do row the boat. As you're pulling those hands apart still. We're rowing, circles, cranking through it. Now the other direction. Good. Pulling those hands apart. Cranking them apart. Nice. Quad should be burning. Back should be burning. You're still arching that low back. Sticking the chest out. Keeping the shoulders low. Neck relaxed. Excellent. Straight out. Hold it. And now slowly coming down with your hands until the tubing is across your knees, or the towel is across the front of your knees. Right down here. Right below your kneecaps. Now just pull back hard as you can. Yeah, straight back, straight arms. Really cranking back. Hard pull, straight back. Yeah, good. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Arch the back, stick the chest out. Pulling, pulling, pulling. We're finishing with this. And really low shoulders to activate the lats. Pulling straight back. Breathing through it. Relaxed face and neck. Finishing strong for 5. 4. Surging back, straight arms. And done. Nice. There it is. Legs, quads, glutes, back, shoulders, tons of stuff all at the same time. I love it. So now people at home are going to have a chair for the next one, and y'all are going to be using the stools over here. So go ahead and grab a mat and put it down by the stool. You'll be lying down on your back with your feet, your heels are going to be on the stool. And the knees are about 90 degrees, and everybody in another couple inches. It'll feel closer than it should be. That looks good. Okay? Now, push down with your heels into the stool or chair at home. Hard push straight down. The equal and opposite reaction will be hips come up. Not everybody does get their hips up. Some people are still on the pad, and that's okay. As long as you're pushing down as hard as you can. Make sure your toes are pointed straight up to the ceiling. Now there's going to be a slight isometric pull in towards you. Like you're trying to pull the stool, tip it over towards you, but not quite. And that's going to activate the hamstrings even more. You really notice that. So you're always going to be pulling in a little bit. And some people get a little bit crampy at that point, so then just back off a little bit or lower the hips down a little bit to ride that fence of cramp. Good. And if it does cramp, then you go down all the way, maybe even stretch it out. That just means your hamstring is getting it. That's the sweet spot. So just isometrically pulling back, staying as high as you can. Everyone's different. Some people are real high, some people are down on the pad. Doesn't matter. Just doing what you can do. Pulling back. Excellent. And now come down 1 inch with your hips. You're still pulling back with your heels towards you. Breathing through it. Nice relaxed face and neck, constant airflow. Now hips back to the top, wherever your top is. Hold it there. Good. And now come down about 2 inches with your hips. And hold. Still pulling in isometrically. Still breathing. Still relaxed face and neck. Back to the top. Hold it. Freeze it. Good. Down 3 inches. Hold. Isometrically pulling in. Constant pressure still in. Coming in. Back to the top. Breathing. Down 4 inches. Hold it. Isometric. Pulling in. Keep it pulling in. Excellent. Back to the top. Down 5 inches is almost touching the pad with your waistband, but not quite. And some people are always just on the pad, and that's all right. Always, it's just all about time under tension. So you're just barely hovering off the pad, keeping the contraction going. Excellent. Back to the top. Good. Now down just 4 inches. Hold it. Back to the top. Down just 3 inches. And hold. Good. And go top. Down just 2 inches. Hold it. Still pulling back. Still relaxing the face and neck. Back to the top. Down just 1 inch. Good. Pulling in. Isometric. Pulling in. Back to the top. Now just stay up there. Hold it. Freeze it. Squeeze it. Excellent. The harder you pull in, the more you're going to get those hammies. We're getting the whole chain back here. Just holding, focusing on the chain, feeling it all. Nice. Breathing through it. Nice relaxed face and neck. Concentrating. Excellent. Now take your toes, point them down towards the floor, and then toes up to the ceiling. Toes down, toes up. Still pulling your heels towards you isometrically as you're doing this. Good. Toes up, keep them up. Now point those toes in towards each other, and then toes away, and toes in, and toes out. Knees might come in and out a little bit too. That's okay. Keep going. Still isometrically pulling in. Yeah. And toes in, keep them in. Knees together. Pulling up as high as you can with your hips. We're almost done. Finishing strong. Good. Just holding there. Holding. Pulling in isometrically. Keeping the face and neck relaxed for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Nice. Way to go. Wow. Way to hang in there. I love it. Okay, so now let's move our pads away from the stools a little bit to give us some more room for our push-ups. This will be the weirdest push-up we've ever done. Lying down on your stomach. Hands out like a push-up position. Say what?
I may have to compensate on my wrist.
Sure. Yeah. Some people, when they're doing push-ups, find that it does put a little pressure on their wrists, so then you can go fists straight down to make your wrists really straight. And another hack is to go out wider and just keep your hands wider with your fingers rotated out a little bit. All right, pushing down. You're going to stay down and you're pushing down. This is a push down instead of a push up. So we're just going to get this compression and tension dialed in. You're going to feel the compression with your palms into the floor. Pretend the carpet's wet and you're trying to squeeze the water out. Just cranking down. And it might help to push down with your toes harder. You'll notice that your abs are tight and your hips are light as you're transferring all the weight and energy up to your hands, to your palms, as you're pushing down as hard as you can. Now make sure your elbows are pointed straight up to the ceiling. Excellent. And just pushing down, breathing through it. This is an isometric for starters, so you got to make sure the constant airflow is happening. Face is relaxed, neck is relaxed, cranking down, pushing down. Excellent. And now it's going to be slow motion coming straight up. Just a couple inches. Shoulders and head comes up a little bit. Your belly button stays touching the floor. So it's like an arch when you get up a couple inches. Good. And now back slowly down, as slow as you can. Ridiculous, crazy slow. Just a couple inches. And then hold it when you're there. Excellent. Pushing down hard as you can. Massive push straight down into the floor. Really feel those palms compressing down into the floor, focusing everything you have into the palms. Another slow motion coming up, just a couple inches. That's it. Hold it when you get there. If you're already failing, that means you're doing it right. That means you know how to push down 100% and keep that time under tension going. Massive push straight down. This should be super hard by now. If it's easy, it's because you're not pushing down hard enough. Nice. Keep going. Keep cranking. Excellent. Now lean over to the right. Stay over there. Slow with that right elbow back and forth. Slow back and forth with that right elbow. You'll feel a little bit more on the right tricep, but both hands are still heavy. Pushing down hard into the floor. Both hands. Excellent. Keep cranking. Keep pushing. And see if you can get your shoulders level with the floor. So they're both the same distance off the floor, even though you're leaning over to the right. Now over to the left. All the way over to the left. Left elbow back and forth as both hands are pushing down extra hard. Really cranking down. Your face is relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. Your shoulders are low towards your hips. Your elbows are still straight up, pointing up to the ceiling. Your shoulders are level, same distance off the floor. Now back to center. We got both elbows. Slowly back and forth, pushing hard into the floor. Really cranking down, pushing down. Everything you got. Cranking, pushing, pushing, pushing. Hard as you can. And freeze. Now close hands. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders. It's directly underneath your shoulders. Good. And push down hard as you can. Excellent. You're going to feel this more in your triceps. And now you're going to lean to the right and lean to the left. Real slow. Nice and controlled. Breathing through it. Remembering to breathe with this isometric stuff. Back and forth. Feeling the triceps with this closer grip. Nice. Breathing, cranking. Back and forth. This is the last thing we're doing. So this is where you're going to empty out that gas tank and burn off all those fumes. So there's nothing left. You only got 7 more seconds to burn all that fuel off. 5 more seconds. Surging down as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice. Way to go. That was great. Whew. Yeah. So now you're going to be sitting on the stools or the chair at home, and back to the towel and the tubes. So you're sitting with your back facing the wall, and you're going to use your tubes for this. you're going to be standing on the tube, both feet on the tube. Yep. Feet together, nice and close. Then you're going to grab the tube like this. It's ice cream cone grip. So the tube is coming out the top of your hands.
Like this?
Yes, just like this. Now choke up on the tube so you're grabbing it down below your knees. Okay, now sit up straight. And then pull up high as you can. So you're going to max it out. People at home are using a towel, or maybe they have a tube, but you're just maxing it out so you can't actually get to the top. Which means you're probably going to have to choke down even more. I know. You're too strong. Who are you married to anyways? And then squeeze it up and hold it. Freeze and squeeze up there. Nice. Good. Now, you're going to punch forward 2 inches with your right hand and then punch forward 2 inches with your left hand. Still pulling up, right, left. Keep going, switching. Hard as you can, upward pull. Everything you got. Cranking up. Cranking up. Hard pull. Now both hands together, punching forward, punching back, punching forward, punching back. Pulling up high as you can, keeping your shoulders low, neck relaxed, face relaxed, and breathing. Good. And freeze it back a little bit. Hold it. Nice straight spine. Now we go hands apart, hands together. Wide hands, close hands. Hands out, hands in. Breathing through it. I know. Good, good. Back together, hold it. Now we're going to go palms facing up to the ceiling. Perfect. And now thumbs facing up to the ceiling. Everybody laughs when we do this. Is it because it hurts? Is it because that's crazy hard? And now palms up. And keep those palms up. Nice. Because remember, the bicep is the supinator. So we're working it just by rotating. Hold it high, squeezing high, pulling high. Excellent. Good posture. Straight spine. Nice. And now we finish with palms staying up as we rotate out and in again. Wide and close. Keeping the elbows in tight to the sides. Wide and close, wide and close. Breathing through it. Good posture. Straight spine. Low shoulders. Relaxed face and neck for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Yes. Good. Okay, now we got abs. So you're lying down on your back on the pads. And we're going to start with normal crunches. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, hands are behind the neck. So fingers are interlaced down on the neck. Elbows are wide. So the hands can support the weight of the head, but that's all they're doing. They're just a head hammock. And now it's starting with the normal crunch. Just crunch up, see if you can get your shoulder blades up and off, and then back down to touch them, but not all the way down, just to touch them. And then back up. So we're staying in the top inch and pushing your low back down into the pad. Good. So we're limiting that range. You're not coming down too far. You're coming down. So at the bottom, you're still feeling contraction. So we keep that time under tension going. Never relaxing, always contracting. And now stop at the top. Hold it up there. Now it's a slow motion twist with the really high chin pointed straight up to the ceiling. Biggest range as you can, and slow motion back and forth. Imagining keeping your shoulder blades up and off. Doesn't matter if you can or can't. It just matters that you're trying. And you're imagining in your brain keeping those shoulder blades up and off as you're going slowly back and forth. Breathing through it. Nice. And twist to the right. Stay twisted to the right. Hold it. Good. So now your left elbow is going to be pulsing straight up to the ceiling, and your right shoulder blade is trying to come up off the pad. Whether it does or doesn't matter. You're trying to. You're imagining straight up. So both shoulder blades are coming up. Left elbow's punching up to the ceiling. Switch it over. Other side. Same thing. Right elbow's punching up to the ceiling. Good. And both shoulder blades are trying to come up, including that bottom shoulder blade, your left shoulder blade, trying to get that off. And now back to center. Center it up. Hold it high. Keep it high with those shoulder blades up. Chin is still high. Face is relaxed, neck is relaxed, trying to get those blades up and keeping them up, high as they'll go. Now bring your right knee in, right foot off the floor, as far as you can. Good. Keep it in there. Now push your low back down into the floor. Good. That's it. Now pulse your chin to that knee. And a really low foot. That's great. Nice and low. Yeah. Now stay in your closest inch. Get your chin as close as you can to that knee and stay in that inch. Pulsing, pulsing. Your knee can pulse to your chin and your chin can pulse to your knee. Tiny, tiny range. Switch legs. Same thing. Closest inch. Tiny, tiny range. Feeling that low back pushing down hard into the floor. Hard push straight down. Excellent. Little pulses. Keep going. Keep cranking. Keep breathing. Both knees in. And now, if you can touch your elbows to your knees, push it in isometrically as hard as you can. Some people can, some people can't. Some people are longer waisted and it's not doable. But you're just trying. Good. Getting as close as you can, elbows to knees. Or pushing in if you can. And now right elbow to left knee. Same thing. Close as you can or push it in. That's it. Good. Switch sides. Close as you can or push it in. Low back is heavy, pushing down into the floor. Now we finished with both elbows, both knees again. Back to both elbows. Close as you can. Chin still high though. Face is still relaxed. Breathing as much as you can. I know that's hard when you're doing abs. Cranking in. Push it in for 5. Finishing strong. Burn off that gas tank. Excellent. And done. Nice. There it is. Way to go. There's your vitamin X.